Hi guys, it's Phil and the old ball and chain, and we're back once again with the ill behaviour. Would you describe our behaviour as ill? No, you wouldn't.
Very, very well.
We're very well behaved people. How well behaved are we? Like, give them an example of some good behaviour we've done recently. We slowed down for a horse. We drove past a horse and we slowed down. Do you have any examples?
No.
Okay, let's get straight into it, okay? So look, what I'm going to be teaching my missus today is a transition that has pickled DJs' brains for centuries. And they've really not been able to figure this one out. And it's how to go from a song that's like a slow speed song right up to a fast song, okay? So how do you go from a track that's 124 BPM up to a track that's 170 BPM smoothly? Is smoothly a word?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is the thing. How do you do it? You don't know how to do it, do you?
No.
You don't have a clue. You don't have the foggiest. So, this is how you do it, okay? So, and so, right, let's just get into it then. Let's just show you how to do it.
Yeah,
So,
do it.
on this side, we've got a track that's 124, and it's Dom Dollar, Pump the Brake. Okay, so that's 124, and then on this side we've got a song called Desire by Sub Focus, and it sounds like this. And so we're going to go from one to the other. Okay, so first things first, we're going to be using these tempo sliders, okay? And we need the tempo slider of the track that we're on, so the track we're transitioning away from, the slower track, to be able to slide all the way up to the speed of the second track. And what you'll see is when you scroll that all the way up there, it just goes to 131.
Yeah, which is nowhere near.
It's nowhere near that. So you need to increase the range of the tempo slider.
Yeah.
Now this is always going to be different. You can do it inside the program, I think, by just clicking this plus. Oh no, that's not it. Oh gosh, oh gosh.
5.
You've just got to click on that little button there, right? In case you don't know how to do it on your DJ decks. Now with the DJ decks, what you've got to do is you've got to hit shift. If you've got these anyway, the DDJ 400s, you hit shift and then you hit master like that, and then that will also put it up as well. Did that work?
Just like 16.
So right, so now we want to figure out what one we've got to have it on to go from 124 up to 174. So what you can do is just put your tempo slider right to the end like that, and then click master shift like that. And that goes up to 143, so still not enough, so we've got to go all the way up to the widest, which is wide, which is 248. Now the one thing you'll know about this is that will now make this unbelievably sensitive, right? 'Cause you can go down to 0. I mean, literally you could go from nothing, right? Right, okay, anyway. So, now we know that that's the right setting, okay? So we've got to put that back to the center so it's on 124. Now what we're going to be doing is we're going to sync. Yes, I'm going to use the sync button. A lot of them freak out about the sync button because there's this thing on the internet about if you're a DJ that uses the sync button, you're not
a real DJ.
Exactly. And by the way, it's a
Where's your headphones, dude?
Exactly. Well, I never use headphones, so that's another thing I always get comments about. So, this is what we're going to do. We got to sync this track to this track. In other words, when I say this track, we're syncing the track we're going to bring in to the track that's currently playing.
Got it.
Now the way you sync, I'm just going to show you on these DJ decks rather than faff around on there. You just got to hit this button here, beat sync, and you just tap that once, okay? Now you've got to make sure this is the master track at the time. So you've got to make sure this is the track that's currently playing. So if you press play here, I'm just going to bring the volumes down for now. I'm going to hit play on this track, and then I'm going to hit master here, which will make sync here, which will sync this track to this track.
So it's instead of you beat matching yourself.
Right, but there's a secondary reason why we're going to do that. The sync button, is right, you are right, is that typically would allow the DJ decks to do everything for you. Sync and set the BPM and all that kind of stuff, which it kind of is doing, but it's got a secondary function. So if I hit play here, and then I hit the sync button here, you'll notice that that instantly went to 124 on this deck here.
Yeah.
But the most interesting thing, and it's running on the screen now, I just got the volume turned down, is if I slow this track down or speed it up,
it does it
they both speed up and slow down at exactly the same time. Now the secondary function of this is if I hit play on this track, it will instantly sync. I mean, I think let's try it now. So if I just hit Well, okay, it's off. It's not on the right bar.
Yeah, but
it's
on...
actually synced up, which you can see now. Which
Yeah.
now I can speed this both up or slow both tracks down at the same time.
Yeah.
So now this is what we're doing now. What we are going to do now, you understand the theory behind this, is we're going to do a transition, and we're exactly going to bring this track in here, kind of on phrase, okay, and then we're going to we're going to bring up the volume of the track, and we're essentially going to do a beat match. It's not actually a beat match, it's more of a blend at this point because the two tracks are locked in together.
Yeah.
We're going to bring up the volume of this track whilst bringing up the speed. So we're going to go for, and by the way, this is another important thing to do. It's important to memorize the BPM of the original track, okay? And like obviously we've synced it now, so it says 124.
It
so
was
you don't
170.
It was like 174, which we're going to find out in a second because we're going to undo it.
Okay.
But what you need to be able to do is bring this volume up now and do a bit of a blend here while slowly tiptoeing this from 126.
So it's going to be sensitive AF.
It's going to be sensitive AF, and you have to go up, all the way up to 124, I think it was. Okay. 174, okay?
Yeah.
So that's pretty much it. Now, the way we're going to do it is we're going to take away some of the frequencies of this track to start, particularly the bass.
Yeah.
And as we bring it up,
and the volume up.
as we bring the volume up, we're going to begin, in fact we could cut some of the frequencies here and here. We're going to begin to bring these frequencies in while this hand is constantly bringing the volume up. We're going to bring these in, and then we're going to start to cut away frequencies here.
Yeah.
And when that bass is all the way up, we're going to begin to take away the bass here.
Yeah.
Begin to take away all of these, creeping that up as we're taking these away and speeding that up. It's a bit like it's like juggling. You just got to remember this is the main thing that this hand is doing, and this hand is doing everything else, okay?
Yeah.
So now we've got to undo it. So the way to undo it is you just hit sync again, and you have to then, you see it still says 124?
Yeah.
You have to toggle this up to the point where the track is there, and now it'll go back. So you just got to kind of wobble that until it goes back to where it is.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much it. So let's get this all set up ready. I've got a cue point here just before the final drop of this track.
Yeah.
So that's going to be like a point that we're going to bring in the second track.
Yeah.
Okay?
So you're acting like you've played Don Dollar and someone's come up to you and gone, put sub focus on now, I'll give you £100. And you're like, I've got to do it now.
Yeah.
And then you're like, oh right, okay, so you're getting to the end of Don Dollar, you've got to bring sub focus in, you've got to do it quick.
Yeah, it's a bullet to the head moment.
Yeah, rather than creeping up.
That's exactly it. You just got to get to, well, I mean, yeah, whatever the reason, you know. So, everyone's got their own reasons, you know.
Yeah. Everyone's got their price.
Okay. So, and by the way, I've got just another phrase of this track. It works particularly well with this song because there's a long period before the actual drop. So it gives you a lot of breathing time to do this.
To teeter.
You wouldn't particularly want to do this if you had 4 bars because it'd be like, you just wouldn't be able to do this clean.
Yeah.
You know?
You'd have to up the bid.
Exactly. They're going to have to really... Yeah, they're going to have to really
work for it.
Yeah, they have to work for it.
Okay,
cool. So let's do this. I'm stressed now.
So
let's
you're going to do it first?
I'm going to do it first to show you. Okay. So hit this, sync, have that down, okay?
Yeah.
Let's
and
do it.
you've cut the lows from this one yet? Got it.
Let's do
Get
it, okay?
Got it. Good.
Let's go. Okay, kind of, it wasn't the most perfect thing, and actually, you know, if I could go back in time, I probably would just move that a little slower.
At the beginning.
At the beginning, because I think maybe I made it a bit too obvious. But remember, guys, we are jumping a huge BPM here. 124 to 174, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We're going like 50 BPM faster, so it is going to be
Quick
quite
maths.
noticeable. Right, so this is the point where we all love this bit. We all love this bit. Okay, right. Okay, right. Here we go. Let's just reset it all. Okay, so that goes back to there. Everything's reset. That one's up, playing.
Oh, sorry,
Cut
yeah.
these frequencies a little bit. That's all good. Get these tracks back to the point you want them to all be, and that's ready to go. Okay, so this is going to be. I'm going to kind of coach you through this as well, so you kind of really know what's going on. And without further ado, let's give this your first time ever at doing this. Okay, so first things, you just want to get that playing.
Yeah.
And so that's
I think
kind
if you
of.
have your eyes shut, it doesn't sound great. But
Yeah, okay, so a couple of things, and the things for
You
you
just
guys
wanna
to
hope
note
everything-
out there as well. The big thing is, this is unbelievably sensitive,
Yeah.
and your brain was mainly focused on bringing this up. I did the same as well. If you listen back to my first time, I sped it up too quickly. But you've got that much room from like here to here to bring it up slowly, and I think we
Yeah.
both brought it up. The other thing is, there were little moments where you kind of got panicky and then just went junk, and then when you do that, it's like, oh, you know, that like.
yeah, it's all gone.
And actually, this is what I always like try and say to you guys as well, which is when you make a mistake, it's as a DJ, it's when you make a mistake that people go, huh? You know, like they don't notice until you make a mistake.
Yeah.
And so the best thing you can do, unless it is an absolute emergency, is don't do anything too suddenly. Like, you know, like swapping bass lines is one thing, but to just cut a bass line out of nowhere.
Yeah, to be honest, I forgot what one that was, and I just knew that these had to go.
Yeah, right.
And so I was like, oh god, just get them gone.
So that's pretty much everything, and I think that's a new little skill for you right there. It's one of these
Practice
things.
away.
It is. It's just practice. You know, like Em could continue to practice this in front of you,
And I
but-
will.
and she will. She will practice it in front of you if you ask her to. But we're not going to ask her to do that. So that's pretty much it. I think that's everything. That
Yes.
song to that song. You want to just always
We're
like
done.
to finish off.
No,
Yeah, but
we're
you always
done.
like to give them like a Jerry Springer's final thoughts, don't you?
Yeah.
You do.
I do.
So, and you know, the thing you just want to say to them is like your top advice as a professional DJ. Like, what is that?
Yeah, it's don't move your hands at exactly the same time.
No.
You know, the pace can be different. That's what you've got to work on.
Pace yourselves. Yeah.
Pace yourself.
And then that's it. So there we go, guys. Another how, you know, teaching my missus how to do stuff. Hope you enjoy them. And we'll see you in the next video. Say bye.
Bye.